the Wee Beastie 5-year-old and the Ardbeg 10-year-old. Wee Beastie, I think you're just about to get spanked.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another episode of Erik Wait Whiskey Studies, and in this video we're going to do a comparison between the Ardbeg 5-year-old Wee Beastie and the Ardbeg 10-year-old Islay single malt Scotch whiskey. Now the 5-year-old was aged in ex-bourbon and Oloroso sherry cask. It's bottled at 47.4% alcohol by volume and sells for anywhere between $45 and $55 in the United States. The Ardbeg 10-year-old was aged in ex-bourbon cask. The peat is around 55 ppm. It is non-chill filtered, has natural colored. It is bottled at 46% alcohol by volume and sells for anywhere between $46 and $55. But I think I'm starting to see the price go up just a little bit, unfortunately. But I'm still catching in my neighborhood here in California, but I'm starting to see in other markets it creep up just a little bit, which has me a little bit concerned about the new bottling of this 5-year-old, because if they're in the exact same price category, then, you know, are people going to start ignoring the 5-year-old once the newness of it wears off and just focus on the 10-year-old? So, consequently, are they going to start jacking up the price of the 10-year-old in order to keep the 5-year-old in its unique value category? Don't know. That's just a guess, but I've been thinking about this a lot. So, what we really want to look at is, and learn is, what another 5 years does in the aroma and flavor profile of these Ardbeg whiskeys. Now, the 10-year-old does spend more time in just an ex-bourbon cask, whereas the 5-year-old does have a little bit of sherry influence, so that will play a role there in making some distinctions between the two. Also, the ABV on the 5-year-old is a little bit higher. Right? So that's another issue that'll keep them from being the exact same category. In other words, it's not just another 5 years. There's more going on here, and the difference between these two whiskeys than just a little bit more age. Now, visually, as I was pouring them, the first thing I noticed was the Ardbeg, although it might not pick it up on camera all that well, the Ardbeg 5-year-old does have a slightly different tinge to it, but they're basically sort of a straw gold. And the Ardbeg 5-year-old does seem to be a little brighter, a little shinier. The tinge is so slight in difference between the two, it might not pick it up on camera, but it's there. And my guess is it's probably from the sherry cask. Sherry cask is adding just a little bit of extra color. Now, on the nose, I will say this, the 5-year-old continues to really surprise me as I get further down into it, because this is my third competition, plus the uncorking, plus I had a glass after the uncorking, and it just continues to develop even more and more. In fact, there actually is a whole nother flavor or aroma profile I'm picking up right now that I didn't have before. So you get the peat and the smoke, but there's a savory note just starting to kick in. Sort of like a barbecue note. Before, all I was getting, it was a lot of more green notes, which I'm still getting. I'm getting the melon, the green apple, the lemon and lime. There's a little bit of a tropical note there, perhaps a little bit of pineapple. But there is a slight savory note coming there as well. It's been my experience that when sherry meets peat, it creates this really unique element of a slight savory note. That might be what's going on there. The salty sea breeze is there. The smoke is really more interwoven now with the fruit characteristics of the whiskey. And there's a chocolate note there as well, with just a little bit of nuttiness. All right, the Ardbeg 10. Well, it seems darker, richer. Of course, this has also been open a lot longer, and I've got it, it's about a third of the bottle left. And this is like my fourth bottle that I've had over the last 3 to 4 years. So I'm on average 1 bottle of the Ardbeg 10 per year. It has more charred, grilled notes to it. A little bit more of a slightly burnt wood character to it. A darker, heavier smoke character. Darker chocolates. But the fruit character is the same. It just seems more mature. There's that lemon lime character. There's like an apple character. It's not quite the tropical of the 5-year-old, but there is a little bit of that as well. Green apple and melon. The main thing is the smoke and the peat is much more intertwined, interwoven with the fruit character. I used to always think when I smelled the 10 that it seemed there was a youth note to it that really jumped out to me. But now, having the 5-year-old next to it makes the 10-year-old seem a lot more mature. I guess it's the difference between a 5-year-old child and a 10-year-old child. Yeah, the 10-year-old is still just a child and still an immature. But in comparison to the 5-year-old, you know, the kindergartner, he's grown up a little bit. All right, on the palate. The 5-year-old. I like the sweetness of the 5-year-old. I like the freshness that I think is primarily going to come across in the youth of a peated whiskey. As on the nose, the fruit and smoke are becoming much more intertwined, interwoven with each other, which tells you can't judge a whiskey by a neck pour, but I was liking it as a neck pour. The chocolate is more intertwined. There's some caramels, salty sea breeze, that chocolate bar character. And now just a little bit of that savory note is starting to kick in as well. Development hasn't gone through any major change. It's not like suddenly now there's all these layers of flavor. It doesn't have that. Pretty much what you get in the front and in the middle is the same. And there's a little bit of that mint character that shows up in the background as well. Sort of like a York's peppermint patty. All right, on to the 10-year-old. One more. Well, if you're a fan of the 10-year-old, and you already have a bottle, and maybe you're thinking about not getting an Ardbeg Wee Beastie, I would highly recommend picking up a bottle of the 5-year-old and do exactly what I have been doing right here, which is do them side by side. If for nothing else, just to have a greater appreciation for the value play of the Ardbeg 10-year-old. It seems so youthful until I put it up against the 5-year-old. But it is richer, has more depth of flavor, it has a better development of flavor. You get a richer chocolate, a richer caramels. Even the fruit character seems a little bit more aged. It's not as that spirity greenness that shows up in the 5-year-old. So you start heading from lemon and lime and green apple and melon. You start getting a little bit more into stone fruit notes of more of a peach character. The caramels are really, really nice. The chocolate on the back end is really, really nice. And the smoke and then the follow through is absolutely delicious. So I really, really like the Ardbeg 5-year-old. Once this bottle is complete, I will pick up another bottle. But I would say one of the things it has done is it makes me appreciate the 10-year-old a lot more. I mean, hands down, if you had to choose and only have one, the 10-year-old, the 10-year-old, the 10-year-old, especially if they're still in the same price category. And what has me concerned is someone in the Ardbeg marketing department going to go, let's beef up the price, $10, $15, $20 on the 10-year-old. I hope not, because I really, really, really like this. What would be absolutely horrific is if they removed it from their core range and expected this to be its replacement. That would be a disaster, an absolute disaster. I hope they're not running short on supply. I hope it's not a matter of not having enough cash to continue selling the 10-year-olds. I hope we don't have any of that going on. But I hope they both have their unique individual personalities in the core range and remain being sold as is and at the price range that they're at. I think they're both worth buying and really enjoying. Alrighty, that's it for this video. I want to thank my patrons for joining my little group, in which I also provide uncorking videos and behind the scene videos. And if you are not yet a subscriber, I'm going to ask that you subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when I go live or post a new video. And until next time, cheers. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and check out these other whiskey videos.